The sun beat down mercilessly upon the hill called Golgotha. The air was thick with dust, sweat, blood, and the sound of mocking voices. Around the wooden cross, a crowd had gathered, some out of cruelty, others out of curiosity, and a few out of love. But up there, nailed to the rough-hewn wood, suspended between earth and sky, I hung. My body trembled under the weight of pain, yet my soul remained unshaken. Each breath I took was a battle, each heartbeat a miracle. The pain had reached depths no words could truly describe, and yet, through the searing agony, I saw them, each face, each soul, each life that I came for. I looked beyond the sneers of the soldiers, beyond the tears of my mother, beyond the fear of my beloved disciples who watched from a distance. I saw you. I saw every soul that ever lived and would live, and I loved. The wounds on my hands and feet were not merely the result of nails. They were the burden of sin, carried willingly. The crown of thorns that pierced my brow was not just a symbol of mockery, but a crown of suffering, a declaration that I took on the pain of the world. I bore it all, not because I was forced to, but because I chose to. Love made that choice. A love deeper than the ocean, stronger than death. The crowd around me jeered. If you are the Son of God, come down. Save yourself. They did not understand. To come down would have been easy, but to stay, that was the victory. The temptation was not to escape the cross, but to endure it for the sake of love. I was not held there by nails, but by purpose. The sky began to darken. The earth trembled beneath us. The moment was drawing near. In those final minutes, as my blood slowly ebbed from my broken body, I remembered the covenants of old, the prophecies, the promise to Abraham, the law given through Moses, the cries of the prophets. All of it pointed to this hill, this moment. Everything written had led to now, the fulfillment of the ages. And so, as the veil between life and death thinned, I lifted my gaze to heaven. I was not defeated. No, this was not a cry of surrender. This was a declaration of triumph. It is finished. 3 words, spoken not in despair, but in victory. Not whispered in defeat, but declared in authority. Every wound, every drop of blood, every moment of suffering had meaning. The debt of sin was paid. The separation between God and man was bridged. The sacrifice was complete. Do you understand? It was not merely the end of a life. It was the beginning of restoration. The work given to me by the Father, I completed it. The Lamb was slain. The temple veil would soon tear. The doors to the kingdom would be opened. The words, "It is finished," were not an ending, but an announcement. The old had passed away. A new covenant was born, a new hope, a new path, a new life. Even in those final moments, my heart did not rage against those who condemned me. Instead, it overflowed with mercy. The thief beside me, broken and repentant, found paradise that very day. Because grace was not a promise for the perfect, it was a gift for the humble. And you, yes, you who watches this now, you are not forgotten in that moment. You were not distant from that cross. Your pain, your guilt, your loneliness, your questions, they were all known, and they were all embraced. When I said, "It is finished," I was thinking of you. For every soul that wonders if they are too far gone, if they've made too many mistakes, hear me. It is finished. You do not need to earn your way back. You don't need to clean yourself up before approaching me. The price has been paid. Come as you are. The way is open. For every weary heart that has carried burdens too heavy for too long, hear me. It is finished. You no longer need to strive, to perform, to prove. Rest in me. Rest in what I've done. I carried what you could not. For every person drowning in shame, consumed by regret, haunted by the past, hear me. It is finished. I have washed it away. You are not your mistakes. You are not your failures. You are mine. Golgotha was not just a hill. It was the altar. The cross was not just an execution device. It was the doorway, and my death was not the end. It was the turning point. Even the sky testified. Darkness fell in the middle of the day, the earth shook, and the curtain in the temple, thick and heavy, was torn in two from top to bottom. No longer would there be separation. No longer would humanity need a priest to stand in the gap. I became that bridge. I became that way. I did not utter those words. It is finished. Lightly, they were the culmination of eternity's plan, the exhale of the Father's will, the moment where love and justice met, where wrath and mercy embraced, where holiness and grace held hands. So remember, when you feel alone, when you feel like you've come to the end, when you think there is no way out, look to the cross. Look to me. Remember what I said. Remember what I did. Remember that I stayed, because I love you, and it is finished. When I declared, it is finished, I did not just speak of my own mission. I spoke those words for you. For every soul weary from carrying burdens too heavy to bear, for every heart haunted by the past, for every mind tormented by fear of the future, those words were your release. They were the breath of peace meant to whisper into your soul. You are no longer alone. You are no longer bound. Completion is a concept many struggle to grasp. In life, we often move from one worry to the next, from one broken piece to another, always striving, always questioning whether we are enough. But I tell you now, in me you are complete. Not because you have done all things right, but because I have made all things right on your behalf. The work of salvation is not yours to earn. It is mine to give. And I gave it freely, fully, and forever. There is nothing more to be added to what I accomplished. No ritual, no sacrifice, no desperate cry for acceptance. You are accepted in the Beloved. You are made whole because I was broken. Let that truth find its home within you. The world will try to convince you that you must keep proving yourself. Through success, through performance, through the masks you wear to hide your weakness. But I see you without the masks. I see you in your frailty. I see the wounds you try to ignore. And I speak this over you. It is finished. You may have spent years carrying guilt for choices made, words spoken in anger, or paths you regret. But I carried all of that to the cross. Every mistake, every sin, every failure, it was nailed with me. And when I breathed my last, I took them with me into death so you would not have to carry them into life. Peace is not the absence of struggle. It is the presence of assurance. The assurance that you are no longer at war with God. The assurance that your sins are not merely covered, but erased. The assurance that nothing can snatch you from my hand. When I said, "It is finished," it was as though a divine gavel struck in the court of heaven, declaring, "Not guilty, set free, redeemed." This peace I give is not fleeting. It does not depend on circumstances or feelings. It is anchored in the reality of what I have done. It is the peace that passes understanding because it transcends all logic. Who would expect peace to come through a cross? Yet that is where it was born. The world may tell you to find peace in possessions, achievements, relationships, but these are temporary, fragile things. I offer you something unshakable. My peace is not like the world's. My peace remains when the storm rages. My peace comforts even in grief. My peace strengthens you when you feel weakest. Do not let the enemy steal this peace from you. He will try to remind you of your past, but I have rewritten your story. He will try to accuse you of your unworthiness, but I have made you worthy. He will try to convince you that you are unfinished, unhealed, unloved, but I have declared it is finished. Even now, as you hear these words, I am with you. I am speaking to your heart, inviting you to let go of the weight you carry. You do not have to perform for my love. You do not have to prove yourself to be forgiven. Come as you are. I did not endure the cross for a future, polished version of you. I endured it for the you who feels broken, ashamed, afraid. Beloved, there is nothing you can do to make me love you more, and there is nothing you have done that can make me love you less. My love is constant, my sacrifice complete, My grace sufficient. If you are tired, come and rest. If you are wounded, come and be healed. If you are lost, come and be found. I am not far. I am here. And my invitation is simple. Trust what I have done. Believe that it is enough. I know the thoughts that plague you, the what-ifs, the if-onlys, the questions without answers. But I did not leave you to walk through life alone. I gave you my Spirit to dwell within you, to remind you daily that you are mine. The Spirit testifies with your spirit that you are a child of God. Not a servant earning approval, but a son, a daughter, dearly loved. This is the peace of completion, the end of striving, the beginning of rest, the calm assurance that you belong. When I cried, "It is finished," the striving ended. The wall that stood between you and the Father was torn down. You no longer have to knock and hope someone hears. The door is open. Come in. Let me speak to your innermost places, the parts of your heart you've hidden even from yourself. The scars, the memories, the fears. I see them all and I say to you, they do not define you. I do. And I call you redeemed. I call you whole. I call you mine. You may still face trials. You may still stumble. But these do not separate you from me. You are not disqualified by weakness. In fact, my strength is made perfect in weakness. Where you fall short, I am more than enough. Where you are weary, I carry you. Where you are unsure, I guide you. This is the peace I give. A peace rooted not in performance, but in my promise. Not in your ability, but in my accomplishment. It is the peace of knowing that the battle has been won, the debt paid, the curse broken. So walk in this peace. Let it shape your decisions, your relationships, your view of yourself. You are not a prisoner to your past. You are a new creation. The old has passed away. Behold, the new has come. I am the beginning and the end. And in me, your story is held together. There is purpose in your pain. There is healing in your hurt. There is beauty in your brokenness. Because I have declared, it is finished. Let that truth be the foundation of your life. Let it carry you when the world feels uncertain. Let it hold you when nothing else makes sense. Let it quiet the noise, the pressure, the endless demands. You are loved. You are free. You are finished in the most beautiful, completed way. So come, receive what I have already given. Enter the rest that only I can provide. And let your heart be still, for it is finished. When I spoke the words, "It is finished," I was not only proclaiming an end to my earthly mission, I was announcing a new beginning for you. From that moment forward, your life was no longer to be lived from a place of striving, but from a place of victory. You were no longer a slave to sin, fear, or shame. You were a child of God, empowered by my Spirit to live in freedom. What does this look like in your everyday life? It begins with a shift in perspective. The world tells you to hustle, to prove your worth, to earn your value. But I invite you into a life where your worth is already secured, where your value has already been declared. You are not working for victory, you are working from it. Each morning you wake up, you have a choice: to live under the weight of unfinished business, or to stand in the light of what has already been finished. The cross was not just a moment in history, it was a turning point in eternity. Everything changed, and you were changed. When temptation comes, you do not have to fight alone. I overcame it so that you could overcome. When guilt whispers lies in your ear, you do not have to listen. I silenced guilt with my grace. When anxiety grips your heart, you can release it into my hands. I hold your future, and I am faithful. Living from victory means no longer being defined by your worst moments. You are not the sum of your mistakes. You are the fruit of my mercy. It means embracing your identity not as a sinner trying to be good, but as a saint learning to walk in the goodness already given to you. This transformation doesn't happen all at once. It's a daily journey, a process of renewing your mind, of allowing truth to replace lies. My finished work becomes your foundation. It grounds you when the winds of life blow strong. It centers you when the world tries to distract. It lifts you when shame tries to drag you down. You may face failure, but failure does not define you. It is a detour, not a dead end. My grace is enough for each step of your journey. You don't need to hide your weakness. I already see it, and I love you still. In fact, I use your weakness to display my strength. Think about the disciples. They were not perfect men. They doubted, they ran, they fell. Yet, after my resurrection, they were transformed. Why? Because they encountered the reality of "it is finished." They no longer feared death. They no longer lived for approval. They walked in power, in boldness, in love. The same Spirit that raised me from the dead now lives in you. That is not a poetic idea, it is a powerful truth. The Spirit is your guide, your comforter, your source of strength. He reminds you of what I taught. He leads you in truth. He empowers you to live not as a victim, but as a victor. Victory doesn't mean the absence of hardship. It means you are never alone in the hardship. It means your story doesn't end in defeat. It means even your scars have a story to tell. Not of pain, but of healing, of hope, of resurrection. To live from victory is to live with confidence. Not in yourself, but in me. It's waking up each day and saying, because of Jesus, I have enough. I am enough. I can face whatever comes. You might feel like your past disqualifies you, but I have already qualified you. You might think your dreams are too small, too broken, but I specialize in taking what is broken and making it beautiful. The cross is proof of that. The tomb is empty. Your life is full. Let this victory shape your relationships. Forgive freely because you have been forgiven. Love deeply because you have been deeply loved. Serve joyfully because I served you with my life. You are not giving from lack, you are giving from abundance. Let this victory shape your thoughts. When you feel anxious, remember I have overcome the world. When you feel unworthy, remember you were worth dying for. When you feel directionless, remember I am the way. Let this victory shape your purpose. You are not here by accident. I have called you. I have equipped you. Your story matters. Your life is a light. Let it shine in the darkness, not because of who you are, but because of who I am in you. This victory also gives you courage. Courage to stand for truth. Courage to face rejection. Courage to keep going when everything tells you to stop. You are not weak, you are strong in me. And when you fall, grace catches you. Mercy lifts you. Love surrounds you. Living from victory means living in freedom. Not freedom to do as you please, but freedom to become who you were created to be. You are no longer a prisoner of fear, of sin, of expectation. You are free to live, to love, to grow. This is not a message for the perfect. It is a message for the honest. For those who know they need grace. For those who are tired of pretending. For those who long for something more. To you I say, it is finished. Come and live. Let these words be your anthem, your anchor, your assurance. Let them be the truth you return to when life feels overwhelming. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to believe that I do. When you face loss, remember nothing can separate you from my love. When you face doubt, remember I am patient with your questions. When you face pain, remember I have carried it. When you face death, remember I have defeated it. You are more than a conqueror, not because of your strength, but because of mine. I have overcome, and in me you overcome. So live boldly, live with joy, live with purpose. You are not an unfinished project. You are a masterpiece in progress, signed with the blood of the Lamb. Your story is sacred. Your life is a testimony. Every step you take, you walk on ground I have already claimed. This is the power of living from victory. Not someday, today. Not for someone else. For you. Receive it, embrace it, and go forward, not in fear, but in faith. For truly, beloved, it is finished. To those who are weary, worn, and wondering if you can go on, hear me now. My words, it is finished, were spoken for you. I saw your exhaustion long before you ever felt it. I knew the battles you would fight, the burdens you would carry, the nights you would cry yourself to sleep, and I made a way for you to rest. You live in a world that demands so much: constant productivity, unrelenting comparison, performance without pause. In a culture that says you are only as good as your last achievement, I say you are already enough. Not because of what you do, but because of what I have done. My cross is not a monument to guilt. It is a gateway to grace. I did not die so you would live burdened by shame. I died so you would live free. I did not suffer so you would keep striving for approval. I suffered so you could rest in acceptance. My yoke is easy. My burden is light. Come to me, all who are weary, and I will give you rest. This rest is not laziness. It is not escape. It is not the absence of effort. It is the presence of peace in the midst of effort. It is working from security, not for it. It is knowing you don't have to earn what has already been given. You may feel tired from carrying guilt, regret over what was said or done. Let it go. I bore it already. You may be weary from trying to fix everything, to hold everyone together, to meet every need. Lay it down. I am the one who holds all things. This kind of rest is not just for Sundays. It is for every moment. It is the sacred pause that says, I trust you, Lord, even when I don't have all the answers, even when the outcome is uncertain, even when I don't feel strong. Some of you are tired because you've been fighting battles alone. You've tried to be strong for everyone else. You've smiled while silently suffering. I see behind the mask. I see the real you, and I love you there. You do not need to pretend with me. You do not need to perform. I invite you into rest. My rest is not a temporary break. It is a continual renewal. It is the stillness that revives your soul. It is the quiet confidence that you are never alone. It is the peace that comes when you let me carry what you were never meant to hold. Rest means trusting my timing, trusting that you are exactly where you need to be, even when the path is unclear. It means not rushing ahead or falling behind, but walking with me, step by step, breath by breath. Rest is found not just in silence, but in surrender. It is the letting go of your need to control, the releasing of your plans into my hands. It is the deep breath that says, you are God, and I am not. To those who feel broken by life, relationships that have shattered, dreams that have faded, bodies that are weak, I speak healing over you. Not just physical healing, but healing of the heart, healing of the spirit. The healing that says, you are not forgotten. You are not forsaken. You were never meant to carry the weight of the world. That is why I carried the cross. You were never meant to earn love. That is why I gave it freely. You were never meant to walk alone. That is why I walk with you. Let your soul exhale. Let the pressure fall away. You are safe with me. In a world that changes, I am constant. In a life that feels fragile, I am your firm foundation. Rest also means restoration. I am not finished with you. The enemy wants you to believe that your best days are behind you, but I say they are ahead. I am the God who brings beauty from ashes. I am the God who resurrects what was thought dead. I am the God who restores what was lost. Even in your waiting, I am working. Even in your silence, I am speaking. Even in your pain, I am present. There is not a moment I have taken my eyes off you. You may feel like you've reached your end, but my grace is just beginning. Let this be a season not of striving, but of stillness. Let it be a time when you lean not on your own understanding, but on me. Let your heart find its home in my love. You may ask, how do I rest when everything around me is chaotic? By returning to the truth of the cross. By remembering that the ultimate battle has already been won. By anchoring your soul in the finished work of Christ. Rest doesn't always mean circumstances change. Sometimes it means you change. You find strength you didn't know you had. You discover peace that makes no sense. You wake up with hope where there once was despair. Come back to the cross. Not to mourn, but to marvel. Marvel at the love that held me there. Marvel at the victory that was sealed. Marvel at the invitation to rest that was extended to you. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to trust the one who does. You don't need to fix yourself before you come. You come as you are, and I will do the healing. Rest is not just a gift. It is your inheritance. It is your birthright as a child of God. It is the rhythm of grace that sustains you when the music of life feels too loud. So lay your burdens down. Lay down the need to be strong. Lay down the lies that say you're not enough. Lay down the fear of the future. Lay down the shame of the past. And pick up peace. Pick up joy. Pick up love. Pick up rest. My arms are open. My heart is for you. My work is finished. And now, beloved, you can rest. Live from that rest. Speak from that rest. Love from that rest. For it is in that rest that you will find me. And in finding me, you will find everything your soul has ever longed for. It is finished. So come and rest. The cross was not the end. It was the beginning. The words I spoke, "It is finished," echo across the ages, not as a farewell, but as an eternal invitation. An invitation not only to believe, but to belong. Not only to acknowledge my sacrifice, but to embrace it as the very foundation of your life. Today I call to you. Wherever you are, whatever you've done, however you feel, this invitation is for you. You may feel distant, doubtful, undeserving. Still, the invitation stands. Come. Come not to a religion of rules, but to a relationship of grace. Come not to carry the weight of guilt, but to lay it down. Come not to fix yourself, but to be healed by me. Come into the fullness of what I have already finished. I see you. I know your story, the parts you're proud of and the parts you're not, the victories and the wounds, the dreams and the disappointments. And I say again, it is finished. The debt is paid. The shame is erased. The door is open. You don't need to clean yourself up to come to me. You don't need to earn my love. You don't need to pretend you're strong. You can come broken, come tired, come doubting, come exactly as you are, and I will meet you there. This is the scandal of grace. That while you were still far off, I ran to you. That while you were still in sin, I died for you. That while you were still unworthy, I declared you worthy by my blood. My finished work means you are no longer defined by what you've done, but by what I've done. You are no longer condemned, but called. You are no longer lost, but found. You are no longer striving for love, you are living from it. So what does it look like to say yes to this invitation? It looks like surrender, not of your dignity, but of your defenses. It looks like trust, not in what you feel, but in who I am. It looks like turning away from the old way of life and stepping into a new one, empowered by my spirit, led by my word, held by my love. To say yes is to enter a story bigger than yourself. A story of redemption, of renewal, of resurrection. A story where even your pain has purpose, even your scars are sacred. A story where death is not the end, and hope is never lost. You are not too far gone. You are not too broken. You are not too late. You are exactly who I came for. You are exactly the one I love. Do not let fear hold you back. Fear of failure. Fear of being exposed. Fear of not being enough. Perfect love casts out fear. And my love for you is perfect. To follow me is not to walk an easy road. It is to walk a meaningful one. It is to walk in step with the one who knows the way. It is to walk through valleys and over mountains, never alone, always held. There will be days when you doubt. That's okay. There will be moments when you stumble. I will lift you. There will be seasons when it feels dark. I am your light. I will not leave you. I will not forsake you. I will not grow tired of you. My grace is not a one-time gift. It is daily bread. My mercy is not a drop. It is a river. My presence is not a visit. It is a home. So come home. Come back to the one who made you, who knows you, who loves you still. Come back to the truth that you were made for more. More than surviving. More than performing. More than pretending. You were made for love. The finished work of the cross is not just a moment in history. It is the beginning of a new humanity, a new creation, a new way to be human, a new life not built on performance, but on promise, not grounded in guilt, but in grace. You are not just saved from something, you are saved for something. For joy, for purpose, for relationship, for wholeness, for freedom, for eternity. Say yes. Say yes to forgiveness. Say yes to healing. Say yes to peace. Say yes to transformation. Say yes to me. Let this moment be the turning point. Let it be the day you remember for the rest of your life, not because of what you did, but because of what I finished. You may not have all the answers. That's okay. You may still have questions. Bring them. You may still have wounds. I will heal them. You may still have chains. I will break them. I am not asking you to be perfect. I am asking you to be present, to bring your whole heart, your whole self, and place it in my hands. From the cross, I looked at humanity, not with condemnation, but with compassion. Not with anger, but with affection. Not with judgment, but with joy. For the joy set before me, I endured the cross. You are that joy, your freedom, your life, your salvation. So now I ask, will you come? Will you lay down your burdens? Will you let go of shame? Will you let yourself be loved? Come and follow me. Come and live in the truth that it is finished. Let these words be the foundation of your future, the song of your soul, the anchor in your storm. Come not because you must, but because you are drawn by grace, drawn by truth, drawn by the one who calls you beloved. Let this be the day. Let this be your resurrection. Let this be the beginning of a life lived not in fear, but in faith. Not in striving, but in surrender. Not in despair, but in divine destiny. I finished the work so that you can begin the life. Now, beloved, the invitation is in your hands. Will you say yes? It is finished. And because it is finished, you are free.